Welcome to the 7-day weed-free completion experience. If you don't know me, my name is Gabriel Santos. I'm a former abuser of marijuana. I smoked every day for almost 8 years. Pretty early on, I realized that I had a problem, right? And what I mean by that is, I was like, man, I'm smoking a lot. Maybe I should chill out and stop or take a break. And the first time I said that to myself, I didn't follow through. And that led to 8 years of not following through every time I said I would stop or take a break. And it's taken me a lot of trial and error to transcend the cycle of addiction and to gain the personal power to, enjoy weed whenever it benefits me and to put my foot down and stop whenever it begins to harm me, right? And so when it comes to marijuana, I'm reading some notes here, by the way, because this is important. When it comes to marijuana, my message is simple, guys. Make sure that THC serves you and that you don't serve it, right? Don't be its slave. Use it in a way that positively impacts yourself and others, or don't do it, right? Now, so what's this 7-day weed-free experience? Weed-free completion experience. It's a 7-part video series in which I will walk you through my personal process of completing 7 weed-free days. And ideally, you'll follow this series along for yourself whenever you want / need to take a break, or to take a week off of THC consumption. But really, you are free to use this video series at will in whatever way it benefits you. All right. So, moving on, day 1. So, for example, me, the last week I had consumed edibles about 3 times, and as much as I'm enjoying it, I also noticed that the day after I do an edible, I have like a hangover almost, and that hangover makes me pretty ineffective in some ways, and so I decided to take a break. As for you, some of you, this may be, you're watching this because you don't know, you've tried to go a week without it and you don't even know what to do. So this is, you're looking for some guidance. You're looking to join me. For some others, maybe you've done this before, you've gone a week before, even longer, but maybe you're just, interested in utilizing this video series in any way that you can. And then for others, maybe you're just, I don't know, you just want to see what's up, right? So in any case, for myself and with people I've worked with, gaining the courage to even commit, having the courage to even commit to, being away from weed for a while is a big step, right? And that's, even for me, that's always a big step because, consuming THC, smoking weed, getting stoned, it's the easy thing. It's the comfortable thing. It's the pleasurable thing. And so to make a decision and say, I'm going to exercise discipline, I'm going to take the time to let my body rest from the copious amounts of weed I've smoked. To make that decision is something to be proud of, and I acknowledge you for that. Yeah, no fucking doubt, man. I acknowledge the courage, the bravery. I know that for some of you, especially if you've failed in the past, you're nervous, but you're hopeful, and you still might be unsure that you're going to be able to do this, right? That's normal. The uncertainty is normal. Now, in terms of practicality, for me, I've had like 1,000,001 day ones, right? So for me, I know exactly what day 1 is going to be like for me. And so for you, if you don't know what a successful day 1 looks like for you, then that's really the first step, right? What we're looking for here is to be more pragmatic, more objective, more strategic, right? Like an athlete looking through his playbook, right? It's very rational, logical. Um, um, it's and that's just the approach that has helped me the best, right? So for me, I know that in day one, um, I'm probably going to have lower energy. I might be dealing with withdrawal symptoms, but I don't even like to use the term withdrawal because that's too vague, and it gives too much, for me, it gives too much power away, right? And so, for example, instead of saying withdrawal symptoms, I'll say, like, I have a headache, right? How many fucking times have you ever had a headache in your life? A million times, right? So you know how to deal with a headache. Sometimes I might have like dry mouth, right? So I'm aware that these different withdrawal symptoms are going to present itself. And so right away, I have accepted the reality of what day one is, right? There's going to be some discomfort. There's going to be some physical pain, emotional pain, spiritual pain. I already know that. And so I have various coping mechanisms to deal with that. I allow myself to be pretty liberal with other pleasure outlets, right? Because when you let go of weed, on day one, your brain's going to be looking for weed and it's going to be looking for high doses of pleasure. And so for me, like, for example, today I ate a couple Taco Bell tacos and I had ramen. Don't get me wrong, I had my responsibilities as well and I got those done as well. But just in terms of kind of coping with the many challenges that can happen on day one, I don't give myself too much shit. Like if I'm gonna take a nap for 12 hours, is that even a nap anymore? But I'll do it. Whatever. The whole goal really is to just stay away from the weed, really. And for me, after day one, the momentum after day one is pretty strong. So it's kind of like those first 24 hours. Now for you, it depends on the kind of energy you have underneath your commitment, right? So for some people, they're going to make a commitment, boom. And day one is almost a cinch, right? It's super easy for some people because they're so in alignment with their decision and they're so focused on completing it that there is no sense of doubt or sense of resistance or like concern that day one is going to be challenging. And so for you, shit, man, day one might be simple and you're just here to see what the hell I'm saying, right? Now for others, day one presents certain challenges that might make it super hard for you, right? Super difficult. I know one thing is just the pure craving, right? And don't get me wrong, like if you are in the midst of a hardcore craving, it can be tough, right? Because it's like this itch, but instead of it being an itch, it's like this emotional strain, right? I'm talking about the cravings. It's like it's like a type of stress to have a craving that you can't fulfill, especially with something like THC. And so my message to you in that regard, the moments when you have big cravings are actually the big moments where you get to make a shift. And so consider that hardcore cravings are actually an opportunity for you to grow massively. And that's what you taking time away from marijuana is all about, right? It's for you to heal, it's for you to get some rest, it's for you to be better, right? That's my assumption. You want to be better through this process, right? And so whenever you get massive cravings, doesn't matter if it's day 1, day 5, day 39. When you get massive cravings and your commitment is to stay weed free, then those massive cravings are opportunities for you to really step into the vision that you had, right? And so here's, I guess, maybe the last little warning I'll give you. I know it sounds so nice, right? Man, the idea of 7 days complete, it's going to be so awesome. I'm going to feel so good and it's going to be so rewarding. That's exactly what I want, right? You want the payoff, you want the reward, you want the success that comes with completing this journey. Now, I say this in my previous videos, right? Are you willing to pay the price to have those celebratory feelings? Are you willing to pay the price to get to 7 days? You don't get it for free. My point is, often when we start a commitment, we are fueled by the possibility of what might be, but we're not taking into consideration the road that we must walk to get to that possibility. And so what I mean by that is, it's may not be sunshine and rainbows on your way to completing this journey. You might have a headache or 7. You might have to go a couple nights without sleeping, right? You may not be hungry. You may have jitters. You may be overtaken by cravings. And if you really want to get to 7 days complete, it is on you to pay whatever price you must pay to get there. And so before you even decide that this is really what you want to do, ask yourself, are you willing to pay any price to complete this task? That means saying no to the joint when your homie asks you. That means when you get home from your 9-to-5 job exhausted, you find something else to do to release your stress. And so really ask yourself, am I willing to do whatever it takes to complete this journey? And if the answer is no, you're not willing, then don't even commit. Because what's the point? What's the point of saying you're going to do something and not doing it? There is no point in that, right? Now, don't get me wrong. There is value in trying, all right? So all I'm saying to you is either you get there because you got there, or you don't get there because you don't get there. And what I mean by that is, it's not going to happen by accident. There are going to be moments. Let me just run you through a simulation, right? You say you want to get to day 7, right? And it's day 3. Well, guess what? A massive craving just came up, my friend, right? Someone said something that pissed you off, right? You got laid off from work. Uh-oh. Your girlfriend broke up with you. Uh-oh. All you want to do is smoke some weed. I'm telling you from the get-go, y'all, shit like that's gonna happen. Are you willing to hold it down still? And we'll see, right? We'll see. We'll see. Many of you are gonna get there. Some of you are gonna fail. We'll talk about failure in a future video. Regardless, I give you so much props for fucking starting and trying this out. Do yourself a favor. Make it to 7 days, yo. It's just 7 days. You can fucking make 7 days. It's not forever. You don't gotta quit forever. 7 days. If you can do 1 day, you can do 2. If you can get through one massive craving, you can get through 5, 50, whatever. This 7-day weed-free completion journey is for you to be empowered to know that you can make it through. And for you to discover what skill sets allow you to win at this 7-day completion game. This is a game, y'all. It's called 7 days weed-free completion. That's the game. No matter what happens, I will say no. That's it. That's your simple task. No matter what, you say no. Everything you want, you just say no. That's your only actionable job, really, at the end of the day, is to say no. And I don't care if you are this close, right? Joint in hand, up to your mouth. If you are able to say no and put that shit down, you still win. All right? So that's it. I'll see y'all on day 2. All right? I'm proud of y'all. See you soon. Peace.